When we wish we could go back in time and change our minds about anything, we've all experienced the pangs of regret. Imagine for a second if I revealed that the key to a life free of regrets was known to some of history's most sage individuals. I agree. Ancient Stoics like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius were experts in keeping calm and making decisions based on crystal-clear principles. Not content to only delve into their philosophical works, we will be mining their teachings for concrete, everyday wisdom that we can put into practice right now. Stoic wisdom isn't merely about knowing the past. It's about taking charge of our future, whether that's managing stress and anxiety or choosing decisions that accord with our deepest beliefs. Stay with us, because we're not finished teaching you about these thinkers. We're going to show you how to put their wisdom into practice and live a life devoid of regret. Come with me as we unravel the wisdom of the Stoics. I guarantee you'll leave with a set of tools that could transform your life. In order to fully benefit from the wisdom of the Stoics and bring about a revolution in your life, it is imperative that you subscribe and watch the entire video. The segments are rich with insights that build upon each other. Method 1. How Marcus Aurelius's wisdom can guide us through today's adversities. The Antonine Plague was one of the worst epidemics Marcus Aurelius had to deal with. Despite widespread panic and anarchy, Aurelius chose a measured and methodical response, selling personal belongings to finance military activities, enlisting new soldiers, and subsidizing burial costs. As is characteristic of Stoic philosophy, his reactions were not based on fear, but on reason. According to Marcus Aurelius, look back over the past with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. This wisdom implies that we can better equip ourselves to deal with the problems of the present by studying the past. Stoicism teaches us to look for the commonalities among past events. By comparing this Stoic insight with that of other philosophers, we can hear resonances of shared feelings. For example, according to Heraclitus, nothing is permanent except change. This is in line with the Stoic view that everything is always changing and that our lives are just a part of a bigger, cyclical pattern of occurrences. Aristotle also says, "He who learns must suffer." Even while we sleep, we cannot forget the anguish that falls on our hearts drop by drop, and in our own despite, against our will, comes wisdom to us by the terrible favor of gods. This emphasizes that adversity is a necessary means of empowerment and knowledge acquisition. We can find courage in these historical lessons as we confront global concerns now, whether they are health crises, environmental issues, or social unrest. The historical perspective reveals a fabric of human resilience and adaptation, even in the face of seemingly unprecedented circumstances. This viewpoint does more than ease our minds. It gives us agency. It teaches us to think calmly and rationally, as Marcus Aurelius did, when faced with challenges. According to Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By valuing history, we gain insight into both the past and the present, which helps us prepare for what lies ahead. Even though external circumstances are beyond our control, the way we respond to them is something we can influence. Adopting this perspective can revolutionize our response to contemporary crises, allowing us to view them not as insurmountable hurdles. To learn how to persevere in the face of adversity, we should follow in the footsteps of historical figures such as Marcus Aurelius. Looking at history through a Stoic lens requires us to recognize that things happen in cycles and that the issues we're dealing with today are part of a larger historical context. Method 2. Overcoming the noise of modern life. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. This profound statement by Marcus Aurelius underscores a common human dilemma in which our self-interest is sometimes overshadowed by our concern for others' judgments. With the constant deluge of opinions, news, and social media updates in today's digital age, this issue is more prominent than ever. Our worries and anxiety may be greatly intensified by this deluge of information. Epictetus famously stated, "Only the educated are free." This education encompasses more than just academic knowledge. Marcus Aurelius, the founder of Stoicism, teaches us to ignore distractions and focus on our own principles and actions. In today's world, it is more important than ever to follow this Stoic concept of inward attention and rejection of outside influences. It tells us that we shouldn't let ourselves be manipulated by the greed and fear that so frequently dominate public discourse and media sensationalism. These outside factors have the potential to interfere with our internal harmony and clarity of thought. Keeping a clear path forward, unaffected by the chaos that may surround us, is understanding one's own character and remaining unmoved by the opinions of the masses are the sources of genuine wisdom and tranquility, as Socrates conveyed in his maxim, "Know thyself." Plato's allegory of the cave can be interpreted as a plea to see beyond the darkness caused by societal lies and into the light of reality. Adopting this Stoic attitude teaches us to direct our thoughts and feelings toward what will actually benefit us, which builds resilience and independence. We get better at telling the difference between helpful criticism and random chatter. Thanks to our discerning nature, we can stand firm in our beliefs and ignore the frequently baseless anxieties that steer popular opinion. To better deal with the complexities of modern life, it is helpful to follow the Stoic ideal of ignoring distractions. We gain the ability to rely on our rational judgments and stay committed to our path, unaffected by the noise that tries to derail us. By staying true to ourselves and our most deeply held beliefs, this method helps us find inner calm and clarity, allowing us to make a positive impact on the world. Method 3. Take a time to concentrate. According to Stoicism, the key to a full existence is not simply getting through tough times, but rather being fully present and joyful in every moment. Marcus Aurelius gave a strong commandment in this regard. Remind yourself that it is not the future or what has passed that afflicts you, but always the present. This saying encourages us to stop worrying about the past or the future and start living in the here and now. One of the tenets of Stoicism is mindfulness, which is the deliberate practice of paying non-judgmental attention to one's internal and external experiences. This kind of consciousness keeps us rooted in the here and now, allowing us to escape the vicious loop of mindless fretting and guesswork. Regardless of how big or small the task at hand is, it teaches us to live in the now and find meaning and contentment in the now. Epictetus advised to live in the present moment, saying, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but rather want them to happen as they do, and your life will go well." This echoes the Stoic view that we find contentment when our desires are in harmony with reality, not when we wish it were different. Aristotle and Plato's larger philosophies share similarities with mindfulness practice. Both thinkers placed a premium on paying close attention in the here and now. Aristotle defined virtuous action as paying attention to one's behavior in the here and now and selecting that which is consistent with virtue. Plato, on the other hand, stated that knowing the forms is the path to true knowledge and happiness, which can be interpreted as a call to fully immerse oneself in the here and now. Practicing meditation for a few minutes every day can improve one's capacity to remain in the here and now. Similarly, Putting down our phones and concentrating on what we're doing, whether it's eating, walking, or talking, can help us feel more present and less anxious. This Stoic practice not only improves our personal well-being, but it also improves our ability to deal with the here and now, making us more resilient to whatever the future may bring. By training ourselves to be completely present in the here and now, we are able to let go of unnecessary anxieties and enjoy life to its fullest. Method 4. How daily practices can transform your life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Life is short, and it seems more relevant than ever in this fast-paced world." In today's world, there is a concept known as delayed return, which has a lot in common with Stoic philosophy. In other words, the outcomes of our decisions aren't always obvious right away, which can be a major source of concern for many people. Stoicism offers a useful perspective on this. In addition to providing physical nourishment, preparing a balanced meal is a practical expression of the Stoic principle of treating oneself with justice and kindness, which is an act of self-respect and care. Going for a walk, for example, isn't just about getting some exercise. From a Stoic perspective, it's about clearing your mind so you can concentrate better on the here and now through contemplation and mindfulness. Participating in a hobby goes. Marcus Aurelius wrote down ideas that would later form the basis of his meditations, putting his teachings into practice both in his professional life as an administrator and in his private life. His writing served as a form of self-reflection and meditation, helping him keep his bearings in the face of the chaos that accompanied the helm of an empire. Seneca, like Marcus, advises us to hang on to your philosophical principles once they are fully considered, as if they were divine commands. Do not allow any uproar to snatch them from you. This is a call to be unwavering in our daily practices and self-care routines, treating them as essential, non-negotiable parts of our day. The key to building resilience is to live in accordance with our highest principles and goals. By focusing on our own well-being in the present, we can better prepare for whatever the future may bring. This step not only improves our own life, but also allows us to positively impact the lives of others. Method 5. The ripple effect of kindness. Throughout his reign, Marcus Aurelius demonstrated tremendous leadership by putting his citizens' well-being ahead of his own. His decision to stay in Rome during the Antonine Plague indicates his willingness to serve even in the face of danger rather than escape. According to Stoicism, helping others is not only a good thing to do, but it is also a necessary component of a good existence. Our personal happiness is directly related to the happiness of those around us. According to this philosophical school, helping others and going above and beyond our own needs allows us to feel a connection to a power greater than ourselves. This isn't just an ethical principle, it's also a workable plan for the health of individuals. Seneca's remark, "Wherever there is a human being, we have an opportunity for kindness," means that acts of kindness, no matter how big or small, have a multiplicative effect, strengthening bonds of friendship and compassion. Volunteering allows us to put our worries and problems behind us and focus on the needs of others. By adopting this perspective, we can see. According to Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics, virtue entails having proper interactions with others, and the pursuit of happiness can be accomplished by engaging in good deeds that bring us closer to our community. Scientific studies in psychology back up this Stoic idea, demonstrating that helping others can reduce stress and increase happiness. As a result, we can fulfill our Stoic obligation to serve others through any act of compassion, whether it's lending a helping hand to a neighbor, working at a local shelter, or simply listening to someone who's going through a difficult time. By doing so, we deepen our connections with other people, creating a support system that not only improves our lives, but also helps us deal with our own fears and worries. As Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Therefore, helping others is more than just doing good deeds. It is also about understanding how interdependent we are and how we affect one another's lives. When we serve others, we should choose to respond compassionately and actively to their needs. By doing so, we can help those around us while also strengthening our own resolve and serenity. If you enjoyed today's exploration of the Stoic world, stay tuned for our next video, which will take you even deeper into the Stoic world. Our community appreciates your presence and looks forward to seeing you in our next video.